Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. This is my YouTube channel, Just Count Me in Yoga, and my name is Sari Stone. I'm a holistic life coach, a tutor, and a yoga teacher. My students have been asking me for quite some time to post my classes, and so here's the first batch. These actually were pre-recorded during the COVID times. I recorded them for my job, but I will be recording starting in January 2 live classes a month, possibly more. And if you like these, please like, subscribe, share. Follow me on Instagram at SariStone2025 and come check out my podcast, Just Count Me In, about living your best life. And that also starts January 29th, 2025. I hope you enjoy your practice. Let's get into it. Namaste. For this class, you'll need a mat for traction, a strap. You can also use a tie or a belt or a towel, and then a block or some kind of prop, just to help you get a little bit deeper into your practice. I also like to practice near a wall in case I want extra support for some of the balancing poses. So let's begin. Okay, to start with, let's come to tabletop position. Come to all fours and just move in some circles. So we'll start with some hip circles, rounding the back and then arching the back. Kind of like stirring up, loosening the ligaments of your back, your spine, and then going the other way. Hips to the right, down, to the left, and up, and then to the right, down, to the left, and up. And then maybe some barrel rolls of the chest, bending one elbow, then the other. Just kind of getting into the mid-spine, throwing yourself into it, just like the way you'd see a cat stretch or a dog stretch. And then going the other way. They know what they're doing. Loosening up. Not sure what kind of day you've had yet, or if you're practicing in the morning. And then from here, curl your toes underneath. Walk your hands out just a little bit in front of you and pick your knees up. So pick your knees up just to engage the core right away. And let the core know, here we go, we're turning you on, we're gonna need you. So you're here for 3, your quad should be speaking. 2 and 1. Go ahead and drop down. Stretch your right knee out behind, your right leg out behind you. Roll out the ankle, dial the pinky toe side down. Inhale, knee to nose, and then extend it out. Look ahead, bend your elbows, baby chaturanga. Come up on the inhale. Now pick up your left toes, point them. You might need to pat under the knee as needed, and take another chaturanga here. 2 more just like that, exhaling on the breath. And 1. And then spin on your left knee. Plant your right foot down, plant your heel down, come all the way up on the inhale, and then bow forward on the exhale, sitting back, feeling that opening in the hamstring. Digging your heel in and flexing your toe to protect your knee joint. Exhale the air. Sweep the air. Bring it up on the inhale. Grab your left wrist with your right hand. Arc over on the exhale. Oh, feel that side body opening. Breath out. Taking that beautiful air. Inhale, bring your hands together. Cross your thumbs. Grab your right wrist with your left hand and arc over to the other side. Pulling, breathing into that space you don't normally get into. Big breath here and breath out. Go ahead and close it up. Push back for a quick downward facing dog. Notice the difference between your 2 side bodies. Breath in and breath out. Jump to the space between your hands. Inhale, come up to a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees, reverse swan dive, come all the way up. Welcome your practice with a back bend. Arms out wide, tabletop arms, and flatten your back for the inhale, tipping forward. Stepping your left leg back, your right leg back, come back to plank. Plank pose, nice strong core, then drop to your knees. From here, over vertical thighs, walk your hands back. Bring your left knee to your nose, and then extend that out. And then left knee to tricep, extend it out. Look ahead and baby chaturanga. Bring it up on the inhale. Now roll a little bit more onto the top of your right knee. Point your right toes and then exhale the air, keeping those elbows nice and close. Inhale, straighten, point the toes. 2 more times. You're going to feel this in the glutes too. 1. And exhale, 2. Now from here, spin on your right knee. Extend that left leg out. Dig the left heel in. Sweep the arms up on the inhale. And pull the right wrist arc over on the exhale. Feel that opening. Big breath in. You can shift your gaze to the ceiling. And breath out. Press your palms together. Hook your thumbs. Arc over to the right. Pull that left arm and bring it over. Big inhale here. Exhale the air. Come back to center. Step back to downward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Pedal your legs. Come onto the toes on the inhale. And then drop the heels on the exhale. Heels up on the inhale. Bend the knees, hover the shins. Exhale. Inhale, engage the core. Come to plank pose. And exhale, lower yourself down very, very slowly all the way to your stomach. Now press the tops of the feet into the mat. Lengthen each leg about 1 inch. Place them pinky toe side down. Hands under the shoulders. Loop the shoulders, come up. Low cobra. Exhale, lower. Loop the shoulders, come up a little bit more. Pressing the toes down so much that the knees are up. A little bit higher. Exhale, lower. Inhale, highest cobra. And then roll over the toes if you want. Push back to child's pose. Now press the hands in and straighten the legs. Downward facing dog from below. We come into things and exit things different ways so that we keep our brains active in this. Breath in and breath out. Zip up the legs. Jumper step to the space between your hands. Inhale brings you up. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Come to a rag doll. So you can come to rag doll behind your knees or in front. Arms inside your elbows. Come a little side to side. Just opening up the side bodies, loosening up the ligaments in the spine. Inhale brings you up to a halfway lift. Exhale all the way down to seed pose. Seed pose, giving yourself a big squeeze. Hug yourself for coming to yoga. And exhale the air. Drop the heels, come all the way up on the inhale. Hands at the heart center, Samasthiti, starting to get the breath moving. Sweep your arms up. Grab your left wrist with your right hand and arc over to the right. Big, big side body stretch here. You can even take your leg behind you and push, straighten that back leg. Weight is evenly distributed between your 2 feet. So breath and breath out. This class is about the freedom, finding freedom in your movement. Pick up your right arm, give it a tug. Pick up your right leg, cross it behind you. Freedom and flexibility, because we have that. Breath in, it's about the freedom to appreciate working with what we have with our bodies every day, especially what you've got right now. Breath out. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Acceptance is the key. Come up halfway lift. And exhale, come back to plank pose. Not creating the perfect condition all the time, which we don't work with because we have bodies. Bend your elbows, chaturanga. Inhale, pull it up, upward facing dog. And then exhale the breath, downward facing dog. Big breath in, zip up the legs. Breath out, jump to the space between your hands. Come up to a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bend your knees, spring up, reverse swan dive. Exhale, cactus the arms, offer the heart. Breath in on the inhale. Press the palms this time, cross your thumbs, ears between the biceps, tip it forward on the exhale, pulling the belly button to the spine. Bring it up, halfway lift. Exhale, step back your left leg. You're coming to twisted lunge. Use your block if you want underneath your left hand. Press into that left hand, bring the right arm up. A breath here, and then a gentle back bend as your exhale. Go ahead and close it up. Drop your left knee down. Now over a vertical left thigh, extend your right leg out. Windshield wiper that leg. You can press it to the right, press it to the left, bow over. Take your hands and walk over to the right here. And take a moment to feel what that does to your left hip flexor. It should be opening it. So digging that heel in and press here and a breath out. One more, pulse it, and then exhale. Come back over, right leg down. Sweep it back. Three-legged dog is your inhale. Bend the knees, stack the hip as your exhale. Take your hands and just claw the mat with your hands, keeping your palms up, so you would not even make a palm print if you were in sand right now. So breath, circle that knee, maybe straighten the leg, roll out the ankle a little bit, straighten the knee and close on the inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extend it. Exhale, step it through between your hands, right leg lunge. One-legged halfway lift is your inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, reverse swan dive. Bring it all the way up on your inhale breath. Now from here, press your palms together. Bend the elbows, ears between the biceps, and arc back. Pressing your head into the palms, and then release. Interlace your hands and open the palms. Breath in, pressing your head, giving yourself a little skull massage. And breath out. Forward fold is your exhale. Now come up halfway lift. Pick up your right leg behind you and step it back. You're in left leg lunge, so take your block with you. Put your right hand on the block, left arm comes up. Square the shoulders a little bit. Breath in and breath out, back bend. Go ahead and close this up. Drop your right knee. Extend your left leg out in front of you. Make sure you square your hips first. Over a vertical right thigh. You're going to extend your torso over the leg. Windshield wipering that leg from the left to the right. Take a look at your hamstrings, a little IT work. If you need a little tibialis work, you can push your foot all the way down to the right, kind of rub along your shin. So breath out. Now weight is on the left foot and the two hands. Sweep that left leg up as you straighten your right leg. Bend the knee, stack the hip, open it up. Making sure that that right heel stays stacked under the right toes. You can circle your knees if you want, roll out your ankles, hip circles, knee circles, whatever feels good for you. When you're ready, close the hip, bring the knee to nose on the inhale. Exhale, extend it behind you. Knee to nose on the inhale, round the upper back. Exhale, step it through between your hands. One-legged halfway lift is your inhale. Exhale, forward fold, bend the knees, reverse swan dive, bring it all the way up. Press your palms together in front of your heart, forward fold is your exhale. Inhale, come up halfway lift and jump or step back to Chaturanga Dandasana, bending the elbows. Inhale to upward facing dog, exhale to downward facing dog. Toes together on the inhale. Exhale, jump to the space between your hands. Inhale brings you up, Utkatasana. So our last practice, if you're doing these in order, you had virtually no Utkatasanas. So we're making up for it in this one. So breath in, breath out, airplane arms. Pick your left leg up on the inhale. And then exhale, come to airplane. So take a moment. I'm taking my hands to my sacrum to keep it nice and level. Strong through that right leg. Making sure that that left hip does not drop. Keep it level. Breath in. Shoulders are square to the ground. Breath out. Now I release my arms for airplane. Back of the hands toward the ceiling, pinkies towards each other. Breath in. And then bend the right knee, step it back as long as you can. Long, exaggerated lunge here. Sweep the arms up and come up to crescent. Exhale, airplane the arms. Inhale, bring them back up. Exhale, open it up to warrior two. So your first warrior two, you want to get your hips nice and level. I'll turn so I can face you. A little forward, a little backward. I like to face the center. And then I build the pose from the inside out. Gazing over my right arm last. Reverse on the inhale. Stay committed to that lunge. Exhale, come all the way down. Come to chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Big breath. Breath out. Jump to the space between your hands. Come up halfway lift. Exhale the air. And then on the inhale, come up. Utkatasana on this side. Weight is on the left leg. Pick up your right leg here. Exhale the air. Extend it out. Exaggerated airplane lunge. So just low, low, low. Getting ready. Then arms come last. Bending the legs. Swooping up to high crescent. Exhale, airplane arms. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, warrior two, blossom it out. Staying committed to that centering, making sure the hips are open. Extending arms last. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, cartwheel your arms down. Sweep that leg back. Come to chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Step your right leg through on the inhale. Drop your left heel as though warrior one is coming on the exhale, but it's not coming yet. That's fine. Walk your hands out to the left. Push back into the hip. You can even take your right hand and push that knee open a little bit. Depending on how much sitting you've been done or how active you were before you did this pose, you go where you need to go. Find your freedom here. Breath in. Know that eventually we'll be in humble warrior. Breath out. Sweep that leg back. Come to plank. Exhale the air. Bend your elbows. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Step your left leg through. The inhale. Drop your right heel for warrior one lunge. Exhale. Take your right hand off the mat and press your left hand into the knee. Just gently, gently opening. And then take your left hand to the right upper corner of your mat. Move your right arm out. Go a little bit lower. Let the head go. So breath. Breath out. Come back to center on the inhale. Downward facing dog on the exhale. Toes on the inhale. Jump to that space. Exhale. Inhale, bring it up. Utkatasana. Exhale, airplane your arms. Inhale, pick up your left leg. Exhale, press it back. Airplane pose. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, land in airplane lunge. Inhale, brings you up to high crescent. Exhale, open it up, warrior two. Flow with me. Inhale, reverse your warrior here. Exhale, extended side angle. I suggest a block for this, up to you. Next one will give you an opportunity to bind. Breath and breath out. Inhale, come up to star pose. Exhale, horse pose. So from here, we're going to get right into some oblique work. Take your hands, cactus the arms out. So right heel up, right elbow to right knee. Inhale, come up. Exhale, drop the heel. Left heel up, left elbow. Inhale, up, drop the leg. Up, over. You should feel something. Up, bring that leg up. Two more. Inhale, up to star pose. This is going to feel good. Exhale, hands at your heart center. Okay, take your hands on your hips, pivot to face the front. Place your hands down, come back to plank pose. Plank pose here. Roll to your right side for Vashisthasana on the right, just to open it up a little bit. Pick that left leg up. Reach the arm up, over the head, toward the ceiling, and under. You're welcome to modify if you want. Over the head, ceiling, under, up, over the head, ceiling, under, up, over the head, ceiling, under, turning the core on, up, over the head, ceiling, and curl back to downward facing dog. Notice the difference between your two sides. Breath in, drop your heels to the left on the exhale. Getting that hand right underneath the shoulder, reach it up, over, up, under, up, over, up, under, up, over, up, under, up, over, up, woo, under. Down to downward facing dog. Pedal your legs. Toes on the inhale. Jump to that space on your exhale. Inhale brings you up. Utkatasana. Pick up your right leg. Exhale. Step it back to airplane. Breath in. Strengthen. Stabilize. Breath out. Bend the left knee. Crescent lunge. Sweep it up on the inhale. Warrior two is your exhale. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Extended side angle, I like it with the block for today. Breath, breath out. Inhale, come up to star. And then exhale, horse pose. Hands on the inside of the knees. Straighten the elbows. Bend the right elbow, look right. Come out of it. Go a little deeper. Inhale, straighten. Bend the left elbow, look left. Straighten. Go a little deeper. Hands on the hips on the inhale. Pivot to face the left on your exhale. Plant your hands down. Push back to downward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Drop your elbows. Drop to dolphin here. Okay, so here you are. Things are getting warmed up. You can take the block between your hands if you want. You can press your fingers against a wall if you want. We want elbows to be under shoulders. Feet are strong, strong, strong. Walk the legs in a little bit closer. Now if you want, you can also take your strap and put it above your elbows. Whoop. Whoa, we're tight. There you go. And if you're working with a tie, you can just make a knot. What you want is your elbows to be as far apart as your shoulders here. Okay? Now for here, I'm going to do this one against a wall. Press my fingers against a wall. Some of you might stay here in walking the legs closer, gazes towards the fingers, and bringing one leg up, and maybe the other leg up. Okay? I'm going to use a wall and launch. Okay? So pressing, walking my feet closer, breath in, bend the right knee, and then breath out. I'm going to push up. Eventually, I'll be away from the wall. My gaze is at my fingers, my shoulders are plugged. If you're in an inversion, hold it as long as you like, as long as there's no shoulder issue going on. If you're not, come to dolphin and stay there. Lift one leg and then the other leg. Okay, come out when you're ready. We'll meet you back in dolphin. Come down to the center. Come to all fours. Okay? Sweep your right arm up. Curl it underneath. Thread the needle. Now for this one, you're just going to take a simple bind. You're going to pick up your right shoulder and roll onto it a little bit more. Left arm comes up and then around. You pick up your left leg. Level hips. You're in for 3, 2, 1. Shoulder stretches work so well. Pick your right arm up when you're putting that pressure at the same time, and then hands down. Left leg up and cross it underneath. Breath out. Stay. Press your hands, the splits on, and extend your right leg behind you. Time. Breath. Breath out. You can take a bind if you want. Come back to center. Push back to downward facing dog. Breath in. Breath out. Jump to the space between your hands. Inhale, come up. Utkatasana. Exhale, airplane your arms. Feels so much better. Pick up your left leg on the inhale. Press your hands on the exhale. Sitting back into the hip. You can take a hand, press your left hand into a block, right hand into the foot. Lowering the hips, you can pulse this and bring it up and down. And up and down. A little challenging for the balance, depending what time of day you're doing this. Just remember, you're strengthening the stabilizer muscles if you're wobbling. Release that leg. Come up on the inhale. Utkatasana is your exhale. Airplane arms. Bring it on. Bring the hands up on the inhale. Pick up your right leg. Cross it over. Here comes figure four the other side. 2 hips. You can only imagine what a spider would be like. That's why we never see spiders in yoga. Breath, well, sometimes we do. Sometimes they just wander in. So take a moment to focus. Here you go, pressing down, maybe pressing your left hand into your foot, maybe pushing your right hand on a block. I love just touching the floor here. My outer hips are so happy when I do this pose. So breath out. Inhale, release it, come all the way up. Press your palms together. Oh, back bend is your exhale. Forward fold. Dive over the cliff of your hips. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, step your left leg back. Drop that left heel. You're coming to warrior 1 foot pattern. So come all the way up on the inhale. Find a nice strong warrior 1. Exhale, airplane arms. Inhale, come back up to warrior 1. And then exhale, interlace your hands behind your back. Arch the heart, look up. Bow forward on your exhale. Come forward, forward, forward. Stay here. So you're at a breath. Release the hands. Now we've been down here before. You can play around with your very first bind. I take the strap in my right hand and come underneath. Yep. A little bit lower. Maybe my hands connect. Maybe I use the strap. Breath in, breath out. Just getting us ready. Sweep the hands and come up on the inhale. Open it up to warrior 2 on the exhale. Inhale to reverse your warrior. And then exhale, open it up, extended side angle. Bring it again. If you want to try another bind, we can try another bind here. Okay, for the rest of you, you can launch to half moon. We're going to do the other side when we get to part 2. So for right now, you're going to finish part 1 with this side. So left leg is up. I'm looking down the front of my body. Lately I've been playing with taking my right hand off of the mat and pressing into my thigh. It's all experimental. So breath in, wherever you go. Breath out. Maybe grab a foot. When you're ready, you're going to land in warrior 2. Come up to star on the inhale. Hands at the heart center on the exhale. There we go. Downward facing dog. Pedal it out. Okay? Step your left leg through on the inhale. Drop your right heel on the exhale. Inhale, bring yourself up, nice and strong and stable. Come up to warrior 1. Left leg is forward. Exhale, airplane your arms. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, interlace your hands behind your back. Shine the chest, wide, bright chest. Leading with the crown of your head, not your chin. Come all the way down to humble warrior. Bring that left hip back, right hip forward. Keeping that right heel plugged in, forward fold. Deep, deep folding today. Now you can release your hands if you want. Play with going a little bit deeper. And then when you're ready, interlace your hands and come back up on the inhale. Open it up, exhale, bring the arms up. Warrior two. Here's your warrior two. Reverse your warrior here and come to extended side angle. So here's your extended side angle, possibly with a bind. Doesn't make it better if it's with a bind, it just means you want it to bind. Okay, so I pass the strap to myself, remembering that a bind is not here. A bind is halfway down your thigh or close to your knees, just to keep your shoulders safe. So take a breath and a breath out. And now from here, release. Right hand is on the right hip, left hand is down. Now you can use, I'm going to show you, you can use the wall, you can use a block, whatever you want to do, just to get your balance, find your bearings. And then bring your right arm up for half moon. You can look down the front of your body, make sure you see your right toes, that it's in the correct plane, and then put your left hand on your knee if you want. Maybe you take it into Shavasana, maybe you just keep this arm up, maybe you take a little bind here. So take a breath here, you're in for 3. Gazes wherever you want. 2, 1. Bend the knee, come to warrior 2 on the left. And then we're bouncing out to star, just like we did on the other side. Prasarita. Toes are pointed toward the front, feet are parallel, arms out, wide, bright chest reach, up on the inhale, and forward fold. Go down on your exhale. Bend into your right knee, right toes are turned out, Skandasana, and then back to center, and then exhale to the other side. Come back to center, hands on the hips. Pivot to face the right. Come to high crescent lunge on the inhale. Exhale, twist it open and continue the twist. Left elbow hooks to the outside of the right knee. Now you can here, maybe you might want to take a bind here too. This is totally your call. Or you can use your strap just to get into it a little bit. So whether your hands touch or not, big breath, lengthen through the crown, breath out. One more inhale, and then exhale, drop it down, come to runner's lunge. So a little forward, a little backward in runner's lunge, just kind of keeping those hips are nice and warm. And then bend up that left leg behind you, grab the outside of the foot. Maybe come down into the knees if you want. You can come to a little opening here, kicking in, a little quad opener, kicking into my hand, offering the heart. Big breath, breath out. Go ahead and come back down. Now sitting on this heel, we had a different type of hip stretch last week. This week, we're going to work with opening you up a little bit more for birds of paradise. So taking the right arm underneath, left arm behind, maybe you make a bind, maybe you pass the block. Essentially, this is your birds. So breath out, one more, and then crawl over the leg. Switch them out, push back to downward facing dog. Notice the difference between your right hip and your left hip as you step your left leg through, left leg lunge. Come up, high crescent lunge here, high crescent. Twist it open. Again, reach and take a twist. So if you want to take that bind, you can pass the strap, or you can maybe you can bind here and get your hands here. That'll be awesome. Breath in and breath out. A little bit deeper. One more, and exhale. Now release and come to your runner's lunge. So a little forward, a little backward with runner's lunge. There you go. You can drop the knee or stay on. You can stay on blocks if you want. And then when you're ready, drop that back leg, get ready for the quad stretch. This might be enough for you, or some of you might choose to go deeper and grab that foot with 2 hands and go into your leg, finding that opening, arching the heart. Be proud of yourself for doing this. This is a great thing to do for yourself. Breath in and breath out. Sitting back on that right foot if it's available. If not, tree your legs. Tree your legs. And then walking the hands forward and extending that left arm underneath, taking the right arm around behind, maybe taking a bind, sort of like birds of paradise. Big breath in, breath out. Feel that stretch. Breathe into it. It's like you're standing on the left foot. Breath out. Come back to center. And then tabletop position. Okay? Pick your right leg up, right arm up. Cross it underneath. Okay, we were here before. Pick up the shoulder and roll it a little bit more. We're going to try something a little bit different. Okay? And from here, we're going to take the left arm around behind and take a little bind. If you want, you can release, press up, and take your right arm just underneath that leg and pick up that left leg. Maybe. Okay? Or put your left leg down and take your right arm underneath as if it's birds of paradise. Facing up in that right foot, taking a lot in that right shoulder, and then maybe you're going to pick that left leg up. This is actually a pose that my teacher made up. He calls it Corona Bird. Breath and breath out, not to make light of a grave situation. Just a new pose born out of the stress of being confined. So come up to center. Woo! Shake it out. Now pick your left arm up and then cross it underneath. Press your right arm forward. And then left arm comes underneath. And you might just stay here. Or you might extend your right leg out. Some of you might take the bind. I'm almost to it on this side. Very close. And then I'm on my left shoulder, extending my right leg up. Just something fun and new. Breath in. Great for the outer hip, lot of core. Woo! Breath out. Come back to center on the inhale. And then walk your hands out in front of you on the exhale. Anahatasana. Ears between the biceps. Breath. Vertical thighs. Breath out. Okay, while you're here, drop to your elbows and we're going to come to a little prone frog. So bend up with the bend in your knees. I like to use the edge of my mat so that my heels are in line with my knees. We haven't done this one in a while. And then I walk my chest out. Slowly, slowly. You go, keeping the hips as close as I can in line with my knees. It's hard to not sit back or sit forward. So just be mindful. Try to get that line. And then maybe the chest comes on the floor, maybe not. Eventually the legs are completely flat, the inner thighs are totally on the floor. Huge hip opener, unless you're a frog. You're in for 3, 2, and 1. Push yourself up here. Now press the soles of your feet together, straighten your arms, drop the hips. Big breath. And breath out. Go ahead and cross the legs underneath you and come to sit. Come to have a seat. So from here, we're going to cradle the baby first. We're going to do a counter pose. And then depending on time, we're going to roll on the right hip, roll out that piriformis. Until you find that tight area, you can bend up the leg. Now from here, you take your hands, cross your hands, Crouchasana. Heron pose. Bring it towards you and then extend away. and then towards you. So we're working towards compass pose. Taking the right hand on the inside of the right thigh, and maybe we stay here, maybe not. Press your right hand down if you're there. Maybe you stay here. You can do whatever you want with this left leg. Now extend your right leg out as much as you can, opening up into the beautiful side of your body. Breath in and reach, stretch. Breathe into the spaces between your ribs. Breath out. Reach, reach, reach. One more big breath. And an exhale here. Okay. Put your leg down. Plant your right hand down. Sweep your left leg around behind your right knee. Face up in the right hand and sweep it up. And then drop the hips. Now your knees are pointed to the left. Turn your body to the right. Come down to the floor, maybe onto your elbows, maybe onto a block. Breath in and the breath out. Curl up. Face up in your right hand. Pick up your right leg, cross it over for a seated twist. Left arm behind you, right arm up. Exhale, lengthen and twist. Inhale, lengthen through your crown. Exhale, take it to a deeper twist. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, twist. One more. And again, if you want to take a bind here, you can put your arm right through that triangle. This is optional for you. It's your practice. Okay? However you want to get there, push yourself up to downward facing dog. Quick stretch here. Resting pose. Big inhale. Exhale your air. Inhale, come forward to tabletop. Cross your legs, come back to your seat. Come back to your bottom. Pick up your left leg. You're cradling the baby on this side. So cradle, cradle. Yep, just give a little rock, a little roll. And then from here, you can roll onto that left outer hip, the left glute for that piriformis area. Go. Nice and open for these poses. And then crouch asana on this side. Crisscrossing your hands, bringing your left leg up. Just resetting that SI joint by pushing that leg back into your socket here. So big long breath. Maybe you can try to bring it closer. Eventually I know that I'm going to be able to kiss my shin here. It's the big goal. Breath out. And then exhale the air. Left arm down. Right arm is on the outside of the left foot. Compass pose. Just finding that opening. One side's going to be different than the other, but I find my freedom by accepting my body where it is, and then just gently encouraging and supporting with kindness as I would a friend. When my body is going through a hard time or a challenging time, I try to think of it as a friend, and I speak to myself the way I would speak to a friend that was going through a difficult time. So just a thought. Left arm down, and then right knee comes behind the left. Reach it up on the inhale. And then exhale, lower your hips down. Bring your hands over to the left. So knees are pointed to the right, your torso is going to the left. Come down onto the forearms. Deer pose. Find that space, find that surrender. You're in for 3, 2, and 1. Come onto the hip here. Now cross your left leg over on top. Base up in your right hand. Left arm comes up. You can even make a mudra. Cross it over on the exhale. Inhale, reach and lengthen. And exhale, twist. One more. Actually, 2 more. And twist. Last one. And twist. Take that bind. If you feel like you want that bind, the hand can just go, oops, right through the triangle of your leg. It just took a minute there. I knew I had another hand. You can pass the strap. There you go. And breath out. Derotate your spine. Now extend your legs out long in front of you. Reach your arms up. Paschimottanasana, forward fold is your exhale. Lengthen through your spine. So for the lower part of your back, I'm going to stop right here if I wanted more of a stretch. When my back rounds, I know I'm done stretching this and I'm getting ready to then stretch my mid-back. And maybe I need that stretch there. Grab whatever you want to grab, including a block. So breath and breath out. And then breath in, come to the center. Feet are separated. We're coming to reverse tabletop here. Picking the hips up. Dropping the head back. Stay here for 3, 2, 1, and then from here, if you want a little bit more, you can come into a second set or bring the right knee into the chest, Ekapada, and bring it up. Just means one-legged. And then lower down and left knee into the chest and bring it up. And lower, pick the hips up. Now drop your hips down. Cross your legs and come to tabletop position. So we're going to come to a pigeon pose. Bring your right knee to your right wrist. Lengthen out. You can stay here if you want. Just watch that you don't sickle your back foot. Reaching up. And then exhale, lowering down. Lowering down to supported pigeon. Just feeling the space that you've created in your body. Holding that freedom. Every day our bodies are a little bit different. Sometimes during the day there's a lot of variance. In order to truly be free and be happy, we've got to let go of relying on outer conditions so much that we can't control. When it comes to our bodies, we do the best that we can. When it comes to stress from our job, it's the same. There are some things we can control, a lot of things that we actually can't. So yoga puts us radically in that space where we have to make a choice. Can I accept what is and work with it and still feel like I'm free? Can I try to navigate the changing landscape of my life and have that grace, that ease? Or am I going to fight it? One more. Exhale your air. Come back out of it. And then sweep it up, 3-legged dog. Bend your right knee, open it up, and if you want, you can flip the dog or come to wild thing, up to you. I'm going to stay right here. I can also show you flip dog. The feet are parallel and the hips are up. Reach, freedom. Close it up, push back, downward facing dog. Step your left leg through. Come to pigeon pose. Here we go. Letting go of your expectation for what might happen in this pose. It does not have to happen in a certain way as long as you're safe from knee pain. No certain way. I'm going to stay here. Where we choose, we make that choice to work towards the changes that we desire. It doesn't mean that we can't find freedom in what we've got now. we go. Dropping that hip. Hip flexor nice and open. Embracing the moment that I have in front of me right now. And we're in for 3, 2, and 1. Release from your pigeon, come back to downward facing dog. Straighten that left leg behind you, bend the knees, stack the hip, and if you choose to, you can do wild thing on this side, and that's I'm on the outside edge of my right foot, just extending up a little gentler on my back. Still a nice free pose. So breath, and breath out. Go ahead and close it up. Last downward facing dog, I promise. Ripple round forward to plank pose. Lower all the way down to your stomach. Extend your arms out in front. Extend your legs out behind you. Superhero pose. Pick everything up. And then exhale your air. Push up to tabletop and back to child's pose. Now from here, cross your legs underneath you. And we're going to do one set of bridge, or if you choose, wheel pose. Yes? Okay. I'm going to graze the heels with my middle finger and pick the hips up. Interlacing my hands underneath me, I'm going to look up and only up. For 3, just stretching. We stretch the hamstrings, we'll strengthen them. 2 and 1. From here, I'm going to drop the hips, bring the right knee into my chest. I'm going to give it a squeeze, and I'm going to cross my hands to grab my foot with that same grip that we used earlier, extending the left leg out. Time. Squeeze. Then I'm going to take half happy baby. My right hand is still on the inside of my right foot. My left hand is pressing on my hip flexor. And I'm going to escort that leg over to take a twist. Grounding down through my shoulder blades. Breath out. I'm coming back to center, extending that right leg, bringing my left knee into my chest, crossing my hands for that grip, bringing it back in close, and then half happy baby with the left hand on the inside of the left foot. Right hand is on the hip flexor, pressing it down. From here, I'm going to glide it across my body and come to one of my twists. Left arm comes out and cactuses. Back to center. Now press your hands and pick your hips up. As long as you're not having shoulder or back issues, let's take a circle around the sacrum either way, to the right and then to the left. Now you can stay here or cross the ankles and press the knees down. You can also push yourself up to plow pose, so reaching the legs up, or stay in viparita. So feet come above your head. Maybe your hand supports your back. You can do that if you need. Keeping that compression in your chin to your chest. So you're in for 3, 2, and 1. Lower down very, very slowly, slowly, slowly. Bring your knees into your chest. Now drop your feet down. And from here, extend your legs out in front of you. Reach your arms up above your head. And we're going to come to a fish pose. So you might want to stop and take a look at fish if you're not sure of what that actually looks like. Okay? I'm going to say hands underneath the sitting bones. And then rolling myself down into elbows. I can point the toes. Some people like to float the legs and then arch the heart. Kind of pulling my chest up toward the ceiling. Last breath here. Now release, relax, come back to center, bring your knees into your chest. Drop them, feet flat to the floor, knees together, cactus your arms, drop them over to the left. Now pick up your right heel, put it on top of your right knee, and just ground in. Sinking the body. Back to the center, knees together, drop your knees over to the right, pick your left leg up, put it up top, the right leg up on top of the left leg. Tick-tocking your legs a little side to side. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a big final squeeze. And then come down for your Shavasana. Just open it up. Take up space. Close your eyes. Let your eyes fall back into their sockets. You can put one hand on your heart, one hand on your stomach, and feel the kindness of these two hands. So learning to be free with what is a practice for all of us. And in a world that is increasingly revealing its imperfections to us, our practice, when we practice yoga, reveals itself to us all the time. It's ever evolving. Probably more beneficial than ever during my lifetime to be practicing yoga now. So our practice, keeping us balanced, keeping us centered, keeping us compassionate towards others, not forcing our way, but allowing, and then staying grounded in our beliefs without imposing them on others, feeds the peace in this world. Being kind to ourselves during this learning process that we're all going through is the way of people that practice yoga. Kindness, imperative. Gentleness with yourself, first and foremost. Staying centered in love in the place that connects all of us in the midst of all these imperfections that are coming up. So when you're ready, Start to bring movements to fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. Take a big breath in and take a huge stretch. Gratitude for your body, gratitude for your practice. Push yourself up to a seated position, hands in front of your heart center. Pressing your thumbs into your heart. Thumbs to your third eye center on the inhale. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a beautiful week and a happy 4th of July. Feel your freedom and appreciate. Namaste.